44 minutes after the hour mark, it's Hugh Hewitt, joined now by Dr. Brian Kelly. He is the Dean of the college here at Thomas Aquinas College, where I'm broadcasting from today, thomasaquinas.edu. All the links are over at hughhewitt.com. He's also a tutor here. Dean Kelly, great to have you on. Thank you for hosting me today.
Hugh, it's wonderful to have you here. And can I just say, listening to you and tutor Appleby go back and forth about the philosopher warrior started to sound like the classroom. You seemed like you were getting into it, so I just want to let you know that we're still accepting applications.
As I said, I exhausted myself in my 4-day seminars at St. John's. I'm just a lawyer, and we lawyers don't like anything that doesn't have an answer at the end. We want to get a verdict, right? And you scholars don't go the verdict way. What is the most important thing for people driving around to know about Thomas Aquinas?
We are utterly unique. There are different things about us that are common with other places. You mentioned St. John's. And we love to talk about St. John's. We have in common with them our mode of discussion, mode of carrying on class, and we owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to them for that. Also, much of our curriculum, our laboratories, were built around what they were doing. So they're a sister, Tom Krause, a sister to us, sister or brother, and we're just delighted that they were there and that they were willing to share with us their knowledge about how to educate. So it's really exciting. But we have, unlike them, a complete commitment to the Catholic faith and to the wisdom that has belonged to the Church for millennia at this point. So those are the two most important things to know. We're unique and we are utterly committed to the Catholic faith.
I got to ask, did St. John's begin as a Catholic institution or as an Episcopalian institution?
You know, St. John's began long before the Great Books movement, and
right.
they were, I think, bought out by some of the early great bookies who were not Catholic. I don't think all of them were Catholic. Maybe some of them were. I know Mortimer Adler, for example, was a Catholic wannabe for many, many, many years, and he had to live to 90-something. But he did convert. So there are deep Catholic roots in the Great Books movement, but not all of them.
That Great Books movement has got outposts all over the country. Hillsdale is kind of an outpost. Biola, very much the Tory Honors Program, and there are others. Is it growing or is it static?
We think it's growing in a variety of ways. Even in the Catholic world, there's Wyoming Catholic College, which is in some measure committed to the Great Books approach, and it's hopefully growing. That's at least one sign that there's still interest out there. That's a little college that Bill Bennett was high on.
Oh, so 10 students walking down a boardwalk in Atlantic City or on the Strip in Las Vegas, if they would go there, or any place. How would you tell a Thomas Aquinas student from the other college students?
By the way that he thoughtfully engaged the people he was talking with. Engaging in conversation is a really natural activity, but we don't all do it very well, and it really helps to do it day after day with a tutor kind of looking over your shoulder, making sure that you're listening to each other and actually answering each other's questions rather than posturing and trying to win a debate or something like that.
Now, in the curriculum that you have, the 4-year curriculum, how much of that has evolved in just the last 10 years? How often do you take a book off the shelf, and how often do you put one on the shelf?
We attempt to set up the system so that it will change at a glacial pace. We're conservative in that regard. We think that change is not good in its own right, and the books that wind up in the program are there for a good reason. They've withstood the test of time, and they taught us things. So if we're going to take it out, we have to have a really good reason. So we move really slowly.
Now tonight after dinner, I'm going to stick around for part of this. You're teaching Aquinas tonight, and for whatever reason, on the occasion of my being here, you're teaching his segment online. And a little question, I mean, it was completely coincidental, I'm sure, but what are these university or college-wide seminars about?
Well, let me just say first, Hugh, it wasn't to prepare our students to listen to you, but maybe the president.
Oh, zing. So
what we do twice a year, we divide up students across the classes so that freshmen are working with sophomores and juniors or seniors working all together, and they're working on a great text, but they're working all together. And what's really neat about it is that you get to work with freshmen and seniors, and it's a Friday night. Kids could be doing something else, but they really like doing this.
Yeah. I'm on the board of the Great Hearts Arizona Public Choice Schools. They are a classic approach to education. I walk in and they're reading the Brothers Karamazov and that sort of thing. And they are spreading like wildfire. Is that a reflection of an unmet need that you've been filling here for 40 years?
Absolutely. Pete DeLuca has a theory as to why not everybody lives in Southern California. He says, not everybody's been here. I think the reason not everybody's doing the Great Books program is because they haven't experienced. Over 40 years, whenever somebody comes to visit and they come and sit in on class, they go away kind of changed, and they're sort of convinced that something good can come out of that. We tell students, listen, if you're thinking about coming here, just come and visit. It'll really make a big
Or the high
impression.
school summer program
High school
for 2
summer
weeks?
program. But it makes a big difference to read about it and to actually see it functioning. So
Now you're the dean, and obviously you have to look out a few years then. What do you see your student body doing? Do you like this size, or do you see it getting bigger?
we are 100% committed to staying at this size. What we're doing is a serious approach to trying to gain the fundamentals of Catholic wisdom, and we believe that you can't really engage God's being and the wonders of His creation without being filled with wonder. And in order to do that, you need to have a personal community. So we want to keep it small enough that you can know everybody else.
Now,
It's not easy, but you can know everybody else.
when this policy began to develop, which is the context in which I'm here, even though one planned that way, how quickly did it get your attention as the dean of a Catholic institution?
Well, I was kind of floored by it because I'm an academic, so my head's a little bit in the clouds, and I believed what all the pundits that I listened to told me, that we were headed towards trouble with Obamacare, but it just hit me over the head. It was pretty amazing that he could say, or she, Kathleen Sebelius, could say that there are nonprofit institutions out there that, based on their religious beliefs, are unwilling to do this. She said, we're going to address their concerns by giving them a year. That should give them the time and the flexibility to adapt to the new policy.
Dean
That
Brian
is
Kelly.
stunning language.
Hold on, if I can keep you over the break, I want to come back and talk about that with Dean Brian Kelly of Thomas Aquinas College. ThomasAquinas.edu. Stay right where you are, America. It's Hugh Hewitt.